On this week's episode, we're going to get you into the grind with a barbecue gadget, and Jack has got a secret ingredient that
is yellow.
Or are you yellow?
Might
be afraid. Grill Grate starts right now. From the low country of South Carolina, it is the birthplace of American barbecue. The show formerly known as Meatheads TV. We're working on a new name here, Grill Grates.
Grill Grates, G-R-A-T-E-S, Grill Grates.
And we'll work on the Facebook page, and you can still subscribe to us on meatheadstv.com for now. But we'll get it all together here. But we did get some subscribers.
Excellent. To
our email, our feed burner e-blast. So
beer
cheers
time.
to you.
Cheers to you. Allagash White. Tony finally yannied up and brought the beer this time, so we're drinking decent beer, not Bill's cheap beer.
It says beer brewed with spices.
With spices. Portland, Maine. Thanks, Tony.
It's a nice low country afternoon here. Getting late, a little warm.
It's beautiful.
It's going to be pretty warm here soon.
I love it.
We figure we'd just get right into the show here and get to your viewer mail. You ever want to send it, it's Jack at CarolinaPitmasters@gmail.com.
That's
right?
us.
And Bill at barbecuetricks.com. Jack and Bill, I cook Boston butts a bunch. Normally, I'm done in a few hours, but last week it took me forever. Same size butt, however, it seemed to hang at one temperature for an extra hour or so. I couldn't figure it out. Will the same weight meat ever have different cook times? Or was it something that I did? Love the show. Perry in Lexington. What do you think?
Perry, it's good to see you. Thanks for sending in that letter. And there's a lot of different reasons why it might happen that way. There's different feeds, different lots, different pigs, different hogs. Anything could be different.
Is that common, though, that it could take different times? I mean,
it is. It's fairly common, Bill. But I think what we're dealing with here is a phenomenon called the stall.
I heard you talk about that at the class, at the Pitmaster class.
Yeah, the stall is something you have to deal with, especially when you're cooking a medium to large cut. The stall actually happens when the meat is cooking and you're cooking it at a slow temperature. The collagen is breaking down within the meat itself. And once the collagen really starts to break down and it starts to melt out, it is actually acting as a cooling agent within the meat itself. So the energy is still coming through the meat and it's still cooking, but the collagen is coming out of the cut and it's actually cooling down your thermometer. So what you're getting is a long period of time until all the collagen melts out, a time period where the thermometer is going to sit at the same temperature. Go ahead.
So it always happens in some way, but maybe not as...
It always happens in some way, especially when you're dealing with a fatty cut like a Boston butt. A good pitmaster deals with the stall by allowing it to happen. A lot of times guys will try to push through.
I'll pick it up, and I said, man, it's still the same thing. I'll shut it, and I'll go back 5 minutes later, open it up again, try the temperature again, and it's still not there. And I bet that just increases the problem.
It does. Once you open the lid up, then you're losing your forward momentum on the cook. A lot of guys will go ahead and turn the temperature up on the grill, thinking that something's going wrong with it must be the thermometer's problem, so I'll turn the grill up. And what you're actually doing at that point in time is going against what goes on with barbecue, because you're not allowing the collagen to come out. Once your meat gets above 212, then the cell structures start to seize up rather than open up, and that makes a tough cut rather than a succulent, tender cut of barbecue that you really want to have. Wait the stall. Don't rush it. Wait the stall. Work with it.
And sometimes you got to give yourself enough time in case you have the stall, I guess.
Yeah, you should allow yourself. I've had meat sit in the stall 3-4 hours before it comes through, especially when you cook a whole hog. It's something you really have to expect to have happen. Brisket does the same thing. Pork does the same thing. Just wait to stall out. As a matter of fact, some of the best pitmasters I know will actually reduce the temperature of the cooker during the stall to allow all the collagen to break loose and get out of the meat. The collagen is what actually makes the meat moist and tender. What's left of the collagen is what actually makes it flavorful.
At hog, it's got to be, or butts, it's got to be like 190, right?
Yeah, and 190 is your end temperature. That's what you're cooking towards, is 190 for your finished temperature. The
Give
stall will
yourself
happen around
plenty
175.
of time.
Give yourself the time. Wait for the stall. Enjoy it. Drink another beer. Make another drink. Thanks, Perry.
Instead of opening the lid,
That's
open
right.
a beer
Open a
and
beer.
relax. For our hot on the market grilling gadget today, I thought this was a cool little gadget.
Oh,
Take a peeky, Bill.
gadget time. This is Bill's version. This is the mortar and pestle. The mortar and pestle. Hey, you got to hold your beer there. You're good. The mortar and pestle is for grinding. It's for grinding spices and herbs and stuff like that together. So what a lot of guys do is they will toast their own seeds, cardamom, cumin, those kind of things. You put your seeds or your salts or your whole salts into the mortar, and you use the pestle to go ahead and grind up your seasonings or whatever that you're making together. This is good for pastes, good for grinding spices, good for crushing, good for just about anything. A must-have if you're into doing rubs.
That's a good, and these things aren't that expensive.
No.
They can be.
It
Another
makes
version of this is I've got a molcajete,
There you go.
which is like volcanic rock you see for like guacamole a bunch. But
Yeah. Mine is Williams-Sonoma original. Make sure you stop by.
really?
Yeah, it is. A very nice gift for the Father's Day that's coming up. One never knows. Good stuff right here.
we'll find some links and put them up there as well.
Williams-Sonoma.
All right, so our website of the week this week is, I thought, a pretty good one. You're involved with them too. The Smoke Ring.
Smoke ring, good stuff.
Smokering.com. And if you got a website about barbecue, just log on thesmokering.com. It's basically a ring of websites, so you
It
can
is.
click through one to the other to the other to the other.
And you keep on going. There's got to be 500 of them on there if there's one. To be a member of the Smoke Ring is easy as well. My friend Gary Howard is the one that started the Smoke Ring, and it's a tremendous place to be able to go. They also have a great forum there, a big chat forum there at the Smoke Ring, and there's a lot of good barbecue information that gets exchanged on that site as well.
Thesmokering.com. All right,
Great
our
stuff.
secret ingredient. It's yellow is all the only clue we gave, but there's so many different variations. The ingredient this week is
Mustard.
mustard. So you could have you could have a regular old yellow mustard, or they got Dijon. What do you tend to use the most?
The mustard that I use as a adhesing agent or an adhesive agent is common yellow, cheap yellow mustard. I use it a lot, especially when we're using Boston butts. We'll use it with ribs. You put a little layer on there, and it holds your rub onto the meat and allows your rub to make a little bit of a crust on there. Is basically what it does, because there's a little oil in the mustard, and it doesn't give a flavor profile or reflection as the meat cooks. Now, if you want a little bit of a flavor reflection or profile when it cooks, if you want something sweet, I would certainly recommend Grey Poupon. There's honey mustards out there. There's just a ton of different mustards you can use in the rubbing process, in the preparation process, in the sauce making contest. If you're into making a mustard sauce, you can use any of those mustards that you want. Honey mustard's a great place to start. Let me tell you, mustard on its own is made with vinegar and oil, so it's tart to begin with. If you put the honey mustard and you start with the honey mustard to begin with, well, then you don't have to sweeten it up a whole lot. It's already ready to go.
I like a Dijon in my special red sauce.
Sure.
So, and mustard's always, there's so many different variations.
You can always cruise up and say, "Excuse me, sir, do you have any Grey Poupon?"
There you go.
It's a good thing.
Or save, I hadn't seen that much of a difference really in some of like the generics and all too. So, just get what you like and experiment with it.
I agreed. Cheap yellow mustard is always a good ingredient to have laying around the house anyway. If you don't have a jar of cheap yellow mustard, it's 50 cents at the store. Go pick one up.
But yeah, you use the, for rubbing down a hog or a butt,
Right.
just use the cheap stuff.
Use the cheap stuff. All you're using it for is an adhesive, not necessarily a flavor profile.
All right, that's it for this week. We got some fun stuff for next week. Doors automatically slamming in the wind. Where are you cooking next?
We'll be in Tryon, North Carolina, Bill. We've been talking about this one for a while. The
Oh,
North
yeah.
Carolina State Championships are in Tryon. We're looking forward to that and having a good time in there. I don't know when this will tape up, but it should be real close to Tryon. And after Tryon, we're looking at maybe going to Daytona. That'll be fun in July. 4th of July in Daytona.
Excellent. Don't forget, please subscribe, especially to the iTunes. We need people to subscribe to the iTunes channel, which is going to stay the same. And then go and rate us. Give your comments at iTunes, and we'll try and spread the word about good barbecue.
There you go.
And that's it for this week.
Hey, we'll see you on the Great.
Hug your mama.
Hug your mom.
Hug your mama.